Well, our calculations. Thank you for the interview. Our calculations show that the about the biggest impact is, of course, on the bulk commodities. The bulk commodities being iron ore, coal, chrome, magnetite, and chrome, which are using the rail internet, the rail links and the ports, and we think they were running at about 25% yesterday. We export on average about R1 billion worth of these products every day, and we had about 260 million exported yesterday. So it has a material impact. There is some stock of the products in the harbors, and some of them are loaded. But manganese, for example, was not only used Gqeberha, but Gqeberha has been closed yesterday, so nothing was loaded there. But they also use Saldanha and sometimes Richards Bay. The fortunate thing for chrome is that there's been a big shift over many months now away from Richards Bay to Maputo, and Maputo is running well at we think about 50%. So it had a material impact, the 75% drop in what we normally do on a specific day.
Mm-hmm. Henk, and even before that Transnet strike, there was a contraction in mining production and many challenges facing the sector. Just give us insight into some of those.
Many of the issues, well, some of it are general. So the uncertainty about electricity and the cost of electricity is one issue that influences virtually everybody except the open cast miners. And then the rail infrastructure then influences the bulks, which are, like I said, 40% of the value, but about 95% of the tonnages that we export. Then there were specific issues in gold mining. As you know, they had a strike, and it seems as if this is sort of an overhang from that. Production hasn't recovered that much. We know about some issues here and there in the PGM market, which has an influence there. But when you look at iron ore and coal, the biggest problem is, in terms of volumes, is the logistics to get the product out to the harbors and to get it through the ports.
Mm. With this combination of issues that you've spoken about, load shedding, logistics challenges, strikes taking place in different sectors, and what can you say in terms of figures, rand figures, is going to be a loss to the mining sector in the short term?
The important issue is that commodity prices are still fairly high, and we are running, although volumes are dropping. Just to give you an idea about the commodity prices, by the middle of September, the rand prices, and we have an index of the South African exported commodities, were something like 60% higher still than the previous year. So even if the volumes are dropping, there's been good progress made on the income side of the companies. The worry is that the longer the production declines happen and companies are struggling with keeping production up, what we call the price effect is of course the commodity one, but the quantity effect may start to influence us. I do not really concur with some analysts that are saying that because that the world economy is slowing down. It is, and we've seen the IMF reports. The markets that we are exporting to are fairly buoyant, and in a strange way, the uncertainty around what is happening in the world, the European issue around the Ukraine and uncertainty about droughts in Asia, and the technology shift that is taking place towards more green minerals and metals. On top of that, we have a lot of logistical issues worldwide, shipping harbors that are clogged, and so in South Africa. So the South African domestic logistics issues are not unique in terms of the world. But all of this, all of these factors that I just mentioned, increase the uncertainty for our markets, for the buyers of our products. And there's been a sort of a saying going around that instead of the old adage of just-in-time manufacturing, many companies are now saying, well, just in case we are not able to find and to get and to transport the product that we need for our manufacturing, we need to stock up with it. Of course, if the world economy slows down substantially, then that will have an influence. The coal side of the South African mining industry are benefiting from the worldwide energy shortfalls. In China, for example, because of the droughts, their hydroelectricity is as a problem. India has a great demand for coal, and we are benefiting from that quite substantially.
Henk Langenhoven, the Mineral Council Chief Economist, joining me there. Thanks so much for your time and insight on SABC News this afternoon.